Okay, the day has finally arrived when I have got myself together. I'm on YouTube and about to share something with the whole world that is been deeply dear to my heart for the last 30 years. And that something is a relationship practice that myself and my husband, whom I have been married to for over 30 years, created and invented, and has, in my opinion, profoundly influenced my own life. And I really hope, and the reason I'm sharing it with you guys today, is it might help those of you looking for help and advice with relationships. The practice is something we call, drumroll, ta-da, our time. I'll explain a little bit later why our time is spelt with an H. But in the meantime, let me tell you a little bit about why we created it and what it is for. Well, I guess to answer my first question, the why of why we created it is, well, most people who struggle with relationship problems, and that's pretty much all of us, our only recourse generally is to go and find ourselves a good therapist, counsellor or coach who is perhaps gifted in teaching how to have a better one. Problem with that is A, finding someone who is good at doing that, and B, paying for it. That can be upwards of £60 or $70 if you're watching this in America or elsewhere, which is not something that is easily available for most of us, especially when you consider, and I've been a relationship coach myself, when you consider that you are probably going to need a minimum of 10 sessions. Well, that kind of money adds up, and at the end of that time there isn't really much of a guarantee that it is going to change your relationship. So what can ordinary folk do that would like to get better at their relationships? Well, this leads back to our why of why myself and my husband Alan created this. It is something that you can do yourself, and it therefore costs nothing. Or let's say it costs nothing in terms of your time. It does cost a commitment to the practice, and we'll speak a little bit about that on another vlog. But I really wanted to begin with that because it is important. It puts the power, let's say, of shifting, evolving, growing your relationship in your own hands. And it is something that doesn't cost anything, therefore you can do it for as long as it takes. And changing things in your relationship can take a while, because the truth is most of us have been fairly badly trained in relationship issues, which for the large part are how to communicate better. Most of us have seen family members who did it very, very badly and kind of learnt how not to do it, but sort of ended up doing it the same way. So in this vlog, I would like to share with you guys some of the most simple practices that you can start to learn yourself and put into this practice of our time. So what is our time? I've given you the why we created it, because it's free and therefore accessible to everybody. What is it? Well, it is getting together and spending some time, some focused time with your partner, talking about things that come up in your relationship, okay? So you might say, well, isn't that just like therapy? And how are you possibly qualified to do that if you're not a therapist or a coach yourself? Well, bear with me on this one. It is not as difficult as it might sound, and I'm going to baby step you into the process of how you can actually do this yourself, all right? But I would like to make this distinction at this point. It isn't therapy, and by the way, it's also not date night, okay? That's when you put time aside to invest into your relationship, perhaps just to be together. This is a lot more focused and conscious than that. It is giving your undivided attention to each other, okay? That's the difference, the distinction between that and just having date night once a week. It is tremendously important in the same way that putting time aside to keep fit, i.e. going down the gym, or perhaps meditating, or taking time to be mindful about what food you put into your body is important to your physical health. Putting focused, conscious time aside for each other and for your relationship is tremendously important. So you could call it, in a funny sort of way, relationship gym. You could call it that, but we don't. We call it our time. So, just to summarize, it is agreeing with your partner to have some time in your week in which you sit down together and focus on your relationship and what things might be coming up for you. All right? I can see everybody going, that ain't going to work in my relationship. It's just going to go nuclear within minutes 1 to 12. Or I have no idea to do it. What on earth would we talk about it? Do not worry. We're going to baby step, as I said, you through that process. So in today's vlog, I would like to give you the absolute magic cloak, magic shield, magic wand of relationship practice, of good relationship practice. And that is the art and the skill of listening. That's it. That's practice number one. The ability to keep from talking while your partner is talking. Yes, I can hear perhaps a few people going, oh, that's quite hard as well. Yes, it is. So my challenge for you today, if you're interested and you're up for this, is to give it a go. The art of listening. Lesson number one. So here it is. Grab hold of your partner at some point and ask them if they would be prepared for you to listen to them for 10 minutes. And yes, I did say for you to listen to them, not the other way around. I know you might be the one who is cross at them over something and quite like to be listened to. Well, as Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see. This is why this is a very excellent place to begin. The art of listening. The art of listening begins with you listening to your partner. Up for that? 10 minutes, that's all you have to do. So when you pose the question to your partner that way, because you might have been wondering a little earlier on as to whether your partner would be up for sitting down and talking about relationship problems. Most of the time you ask that question of your partner, you're going to get a big no way. That has never got us anywhere in the past except into an even more giant argument about the issue. And we're not able to fix it. We are not able to fix it, and we're not qualified to fix it. That's because probably you didn't begin from step number one that I am suggesting to you, and that is that you listen to them initially. Okay, so that is the challenge that I throw down before you. Spend 10 minutes of listening to them. And when you put it to your partner in those terms, when you go to him or to her and say, would you be up for trying this practice that I've just watched some YouTube vlog on called Our Time, and it means I have to listen to you for 10 minutes without saying anything, and then we just finish for the day and we don't bring it up. Would you be up for that? I think you might find that they would. You're certainly going to get a much bigger yes to that suggestion than you would if you were asking them to listen to you. Okay, crystal clear? Get yourself a clock and your partner and go for it. I throw down this challenge to you, and come back and listen in on session number 2 on the art and the skill of listening within the practice of our time. Have fun. Bye for now.